What's up, guys? Welcome to Box Football. I'm here with Jack right now, and we're going to talk about a very, very compelling Premier League title race. Now, when we first started this, we were like, there's like Jack. You said five teams that could win it at a time. I was thinking
Yeah,
more
I
like
think so.
I was
Yeah.
thinking more like four teams mainly, but now it's just emerging. It seems to be only three teams who are in contention for the title. But when you look at it, only what 2 points separate all of them, and it kind of all switched from last week. Last week Chelsea were ahead, and people think, oh, Chelsea are good, and now Chelsea are now in third place, and Man City are now top of the league with 2 points separating all three teams with 15 games played. Jack, where do you have this title race going, and what have you seen so far that's giving you confidence rather Liverpool or Man United, Liverpool, Man City, or Chelsea can take it?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think the most impressive thing has been Man City's ability, or at least feels like their ability to go again. And I think that the main credit there has to go to Pep. You've got to say that it has to go to Pep. Pep is going to be the motivator there. Once we see true greatness out of Cristiano Ronaldo's, Lionel Messi's, LeBron James, whatever sports analogy you want to use, because if you win an MVP, you win a league, you win a top goal scorer, you win a World Cup, a Copa America, a Euros, whatever, a Champions League, it's that you've hit the peak. There's no better to kind of go from there. You've already achieved it. So the ability, I think, to then go again, that's very, very difficult. And it's much more of a mental thing than it is a kind of a physical and a technical thing. And that mental side of the game is very strong from managers. They have a huge impact on that. So I think that with Pep Guardiola and what he's been able to do with the Man City team so far, I mean, I'm looking at the last 5 games here, and I've got greens across the board. It's win, 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 win. So I've been very impressed with that. I've got to be honest. I was a bit scared of Chelsea this year. You don't win the Champions League and then, become some sort of slouch in the domestic competitions. And obviously we know Liverpool are always going to be competitive. West Ham have been obviously the surprise package. I know this is going to be on the internet, so at the risk of sounding like a complete idiot here, I do expect them to fall off at some point. Not by a lot, but maybe down to fifth, sixth, something like that, right? I think Man United will make a run here at some point. I think Antonio Conte and Spurs could make a run here at some point. Even Arsenal, James, we were talking about Arsenal as one of the top 3 form teams in the league a couple of weeks ago. But no, it's going to be these 3 teams to the end, occupying those 3 spots. And to me, right now, I know they're top of the table, so maybe it's a bit of an easy answer, a bit of a cop-out, but I've just been incredibly impressed with what this team and Pep have been able to do. And James, there's not a super reliance on one person. I always think that's huge. I always think that's such a big deal for a team. If you go into a game thinking, if I just stop that one guy, I'm going to stop them from being able to play or stop them from being able to be the best they can be. Man City aren't that team. You don't just stop one guy and then, they're messed up now. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going with Man City, but it's going to be close and it's going to be fun. Hopefully till game week 36, 37, 38, we've still got a title race.
That's what I hope the most. The fact that we can have a end-to-end title race where it goes straight to the wire.
Right.
I mean, goes right to the wire. But this has been an interesting title race. But you mentioned Man City there, and I think what scares me about Man City is the fact that Man City haven't been fully fit this year, Jack. Players been coming in and out this year. Phil Foden hasn't really had a good run of form. He started off this. He didn't start off this. He didn't play for the start of the season. He came in, few injuries. Now he's back. Now Kevin De Bruyne. I don't think Kevin De Bruyne has been fit for the past 2-3 seasons now. He seems every year he has these niggles. But Man City, just the train keeps on rolling. Jack Grealish had a period out. Listen, we're looking at Bernardo Silva arguably having the best season he's had for Man City. And bear in mind, he's had some terrific seasons so far. I'm looking at the defense, and it's like usually Pep will always have his mainstays. But I feel like some days you can have Laporte drop in there, John Stones and Diaz.
Ruben Diaz, yeah.
But like Diaz as the mainstay for. So the thing that gets me about Man City is that once everyone's fit, this train is going to keep on going. And the hardest thing with Man City is that once they get going, they are really hard to stop. You remember last year they were on this historic 17 game winning streak or something like that in all competitions, and they were just killing all the oppositions. That's something that worries me. But then I look at the side of Liverpool. Jack, we take it back 2 seasons ago. Liverpool had the best start to a Premier League season ever. And like they captured the title the earliest it's ever been captured. They broke numerous records. And
Right.
we both know when Liverpool get going, it's mad because it's really, really hard to stop them. And the thing about Liverpool is that once they get the bit between the teeth, they can do a bit of both. They can grind out games like they did against Wolves, where they should have won before the Debok Origi goal, but it wasn't going their way. You have that at times, but teams like Liverpool, who always have that mentality, is that no matter what, we're going to keep on going and we're going to get that goal, and they did. And that's something that I look at this Liverpool team and like be like, this feels like Liverpool from 2 years ago. In fact, even better, because now Thiago Alcantara, after last season kind of struggling a bit, he's getting back into it now. And to me, it's a proper worry because we all know how great Mo Salah is. But now Liverpool can get Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago Alcantara playing regularly.
Great balance to that midfield.
I think the crazy thing is that last season, I think they played like 8 games or 5 games last season together. But if they can get them consistently going like that with Virgil at the back, it's serious. Then we take it to Chelsea, and I feel Chelsea are like the ones I chose at the start of the season. But I look at them, and we know what they are, but I'm not sure if their top striker, as we say, Romelu Lukaku, fits what Chelsea need going forward. Jack, listen, I'm a huge Romelu Lukaku fan, and I hate going back on myself on this, but it looks like Chelsea's balance fits more when Lukaku isn't in the team. So the question is for Chelsea is that can they find the balance there? Because to me, if Chelsea are going to be successful, they need Lukaku in this team scoring goals. If they can't get Lukaku scoring goals, then that's a serious problem for them. So I don't know how Thomas Tuchel is really going to work this out now. But what do you think?
Well, no, I agree with you. I think that if Lukaku is in that team, we can talk about the whole, he hasn't scored a goal and whatever. Like I said, Romelu Lukaku, if you actually watch him play football, he is not going to be judged on the goals he scores. I mean, he's a striker, part and parcel of the game, but that's not all Romelu Lukaku gives you. He gives you a hell of a lot more on the pitch than just goals. I think with him in the team, the goals will still come eventually, and he will still play a good part. But I do have to agree with you. And again, to give myself a little bit of a pat on the back here, this is exactly what I thought would happen. You have a guy coming off the best year of his career. You pay the money that he should. He's worth that money, that 100 mil whatever price tag. At the time, he's worth. That's a Serie A MVP. This is he was unbelievable for Inter, unbelievable. But you're putting him into a position where it's not custom built for him like it was at Inter under Conte. So I think it is a worry. But what I will say is the squad depth and the squad quality there for Chelsea is just incredible. I mean, if you look at somebody like Saul Niguez, I know he's struggled. Supposedly he's going to be shipped off back to Atletico Madrid. I mean, if you tell me a football squad that has no need for Saul Niguez, I'm saying that you're in a pretty strong position. The one thing with Chelsea, I do think, and we saw this with what happened with Frank Lampard, and anybody who hasn't seen it, I recommend you go and watch the Overlap interview he did with Gary Neville. Very, very interesting because of obviously the mental state of doing what I think you would consider a good job, then having somebody come in and win the Champions League. I think that's got to have a mental toll on you. But Chelsea, for me, a couple of bad results. Yeah, they lost to West Ham. Fascinating game, great game, exciting game. Couple more losses. Maybe Thomas Tuchel's on the chopping block. Seriously, that's the way Chelsea operate. And again, if a new manager comes in, no matter who that is, Chelsea could get rolling again. And we could see that team come up. And I think the reason why you picked them, correct me if I'm wrong, these guys are absolute killers. Chelsea are killers. It's the number one club, I would probably say, that do have that win at all cost mentality. And if you're trying to win games and titles, that's what you need.
But Jack, I realized something with Chelsea. Defensively, I have no problem with them. Absolutely solid. Like Thiago Silva, he's been immensely since he's came in. Rudiger, we can talk about many.
Caliber.
Yeah,
been great.
All of them been absolutely brilliant. But that Manchester United game told me something about Chelsea. It told me that if that was Man City, if that was Liverpool, you know what the score would have been in that game.
Well, we saw, didn't we? 2-0 and then whatever, 5-0, whatever it was.
5-0, but you see what Chelsea, with the chances that they created, the dominance that they had in possession, the fact that they couldn't put Manchester United to the sword like they should have, it gets me thinking that they need that extra bit of spark right now. They need that bit of Eden Hazard magic that they've been missing for
Right.
a while right now. When I look at a player like a Christian Pulisic, when is he ever going to take this next step and be the player that Chelsea fans want him to be?
Right.
Ziyech, good at times. You know, his left foot is extraordinary, but is he going to take that step and really take games by the scruff of the neck? The exact same thing with Mason Mount. I don't know if the Chelsea attacking force overall,
Great goal, by the way, just to say. Mason Mount's here.
But I don't know if they have the force to kind of be ruthless and really take this title. That's to me that's the biggest thing, because the Manchester United game really had me worried because they should have really took advantage of it.
Yes.
But Jack, I just want to bring one more thing up. African Nations Cup. It's coming up around January time. It's going to affect Liverpool because they're going to lose Mo Salah, Sadio Mane. Chelsea will lose Mendy. I know a few more teams are going to miss. I'm not sure if Man City going to miss any other players there, but that is a serious time, because I think they'll be missing in and around, depending on how far they go, in and around 8 games.
Yeah.
How do you think this is going to affect the title? Does this like swing the title towards Man City even more, or like, do you think both teams will be fine?
I think it has to. I mean, look, Edouard Mendy is a huge loss. I don't think we can underestimate his value, and I think you and I have briefly spoken about the fact that there should have been a much bigger conversation surrounding him and Donnarumma. I think there's a more justified outrage of Edouard Mendy not winning the best goalkeeper than Messi winning the Ballon d'Or. So Edouard Mendy is going to be a huge loss. But Liverpool, I don't think you can say at any point, losing Mo Salah and Sadio Mane, Naby Keita too, right?
Yeah, but Naby Keita doesn't really play.
No, I know, but I mean, it's still a significant, at least a rotation player in that team. So I think you've got to give the advantage to Man City there. But then again, you go back to the old conversations of complacency. Do you think, our rivals they're losing some big players, so we're just going to win these games? Maybe City will lose more games like they lost to Palace, for example, right? I do think they will have the advantage, and there's a chance there to put. I mean, James, you said 8 games, 8 times 3. Oh my God, maths! Putting myself on the spot. 24. They're not going to put a 24-point gap there, but over the course of 8 games, can they maybe put together a 8 to 10-point gap between these teams because of the losses? I mean, Diogo Jota can fill in, Divock Origi can fill in, of course, for Liverpool, but levels, there's a huge loss there.
Jack, I feel AFCON is really going to test Chelsea and especially Liverpool. If Liverpool can get past that AFCON, I feel like they'll go on to win the league. If they struggle that time, it'll be hard to catch Man City, because you mentioned complacency. Jack, the last team you want to talk about being complacent is Manchester City, with a coach like Pep Guardiola. He woke Jack. They're in 88 minutes, 7-0 up, and he's still backing out players to track back. The last team to be complacent is going to be Man City. But guys, I have Liverpool winning the league right now. I've changed it from Chelsea. I have Liverpool. Jack is going from Man City. But guys, let us know.
Man City. Yeah.
Man City. Guys, let us know. Who do you think is going to win the Premier League? Who has the advantage once AFCON comes? Comment down below, guys.
Just quickly too, James, just to people watching, are we disrespecting the hell out of West Ham here? Are we disrespecting Spurs? Are we disrespecting Man United? Are we disrespecting Arsenal?
Relax. I might have to edit that part out. All right, guys, thank you. Box to Box Football, and we will see you next time.